From the sun-drenched streets of Miami in the early 1970s, a life began to unfold that would one day reach the highest echelons of American power. Here, a young Marco Rubio, barely a toddler, stands with his father, Mario, outside what was then their first family home. This modest setting was the bedrock of a classic American story, the one rooted deeply in the Cuban diaspora. His parents, Mario and Aurealis, had arrived from Cuba in the 1950s, long before the Castro Revolution, seeking a better life. They worked tirelessly, often in hotel service, instilling in their children the values of hard work and the enduring promise of the United States. This humble beginning, shaped by their sacrifices and dreams, laid the foundation for a journey far grander than anyone could have imagined. Those early years in Miami were filled with the everyday rhythms of a working-class family, shaping the young Marco with a sense of place and belonging. By his sixth grade year, he was a child of the Sunshine State, seemingly settled into the patterns of American school life. Yet a surprising, lesser-known chapter of his childhood was about to begin, one that would momentarily transplant this Miami native to an entirely different landscape, further diversifying his understanding of the American experience.
That unexpected chapter took Marco and his family more than 2,000 miles west to Las Vegas, Nevada. For several years, his father worked as a bartender at a casino while his mother was a hotel maid. Here in the desert landscape and vibrant 24-hour city, young Marco embraced new experiences, including youth football. Playing for the Yesco Cavaliers in 1982, Marco, number 18, learned the lessons of teamwork, discipline, and perseverance on the gridiron, lessons that would serve him well in the competitive arenas of both sports and later politics. This period away from Miami was brief but formative, offering a glimpse into the diverse fabric of American life.
After their time in Nevada, the Rubio family returned to their beloved Miami, where Marco entered high school. The city's vibrant Cuban-American community once again became his home. By his 1989 graduating year, the boy who once played football in Las Vegas had grown into a diligent student, a future-oriented young man preparing to take his next steps. His high school years were marked not only by academic focus, but also by a deep engagement with his community, foreshadowing a life dedicated to public service. His high school experience at South Miami Senior High, as captured in this memorable 1989 yearbook portrait, showed a confident and engaged young man. Surrounded by friends, Marco seemed to effortlessly blend the academic with the social, already possessing a natural ease with people that would later define his political career. The return to Miami solidified his cultural identity and further grounded him in the community that would eventually launch his rise. The path forward for Marco Rubio, a first-generation college graduate in his family, led to the University of Miami Law School. In 1996, he stood proudly with his mother and sister, Veronica, celebrating his Juris Doctor degree. This achievement was a profound moment, not just for Marco, but for his entire family. It was a tangible testament to their sacrifices and his own dedication, marking a pivotal step toward professional life and providing a strong foundation for the complex legal and political world he was about to enter.
2 years after his law school graduation, on October 17, 1998, Marco Rubio embarked on another significant personal milestone: marriage. He wed Jeanette Dausdebes, a former Miami Dolphins cheerleader and a fellow Cuban-American, in a ceremony that underscored the importance of family and faith in his life. Here, with his parents looking on, Marco and Jeanette began their journey together, a partnership that would become a constant through the whirlwind of his burgeoning political aspirations.
As the new millennium dawned, the Rubio family continued to grow. In 2000, Jeanette and Marco welcomed their youngest daughter, Amanda, adding to their vibrant household. This period of personal growth and family expansion coincided with Marco's increasing engagement in local politics. The foundation of a strong family life would prove to be an anchor as his public career began its ascent, demanding more and more of his time and energy. By April 1, 2004, at just 32 years old, Marco Rubio was no longer merely a local politician. He was serving as a state representative in Tallahassee, the capital of Florida, actively conversing with colleagues during a House session. His natural charisma and ability to connect with people were already evident, and his rapid rise through the state legislature was becoming clear. He was quickly gaining a reputation as a rising star within the Republican Party, poised for even greater responsibilities.
Just 2 years later, on November 21, 2006, Marco Rubio reached a significant milestone in his state political career. He was sworn in as the new Speaker of the Florida House, the youngest person to hold that powerful position in over a century. Here he greets then Florida Governor Jeb Bush, a testament to his burgeoning influence and the respect he had garnered among his peers. As Speaker, he championed policies he believed would make Florida a better place to live, all while carefully crafting a book of 100 innovative ideas for Florida's future, laying the groundwork for a much larger political stage. The State House proved to be merely a stepping stone. On January 5, 2010, Marco Rubio, with his wife Jeanette by his side, took the oath of office for the United States Senate in Washington, D.C., administered by Vice President Joe Biden. This moment marked his dramatic entry onto the national political scene, a hard-fought victory that saw him emerge from a crowded primary to capture a seat in the highest legislative body in the nation. It was a testament to his ambition and his ability to rally grassroots support, transforming from a state leader into a federal lawmaker. Before taking his place in Washington, the journey to the Senate required a crucial step back in his home state. On April 27, 2010, in Miami, Marco Rubio signed the official documents to qualify as a Republican candidate for the U.S. Senate. This moment, witnessed by his son Anthony, his father Mario, and his daughter Amanda, underscored the deep personal connection he felt to his family and his roots, even as his political career soared to new heights. The support of his loved ones was a constant source of strength as he prepared for the arduous campaign ahead. The campaign trail was demanding, featuring a series of high-stakes debates that tested his mettle against formidable opponents. Here, on October 26, 2010, Marco Rubio greets his rivals Charlie Crist and Kendrick Meek before a debate at the WESH-TV studios in Winter Park, Florida. These public confrontations were critical opportunities to articulate his vision for Florida and the nation, to distinguish himself, and to convince voters he was the best choice to represent them in Washington. He entered the race as something of an underdog, but quickly gained momentum. All the hard work, the debates, and the tireless campaigning culminated on November 2, 2010. In Coral Gables, Florida, surrounded by his joyful family, then Republican U.S. Senate nominee Marco Rubio celebrated his election victory as confetti rained down. This triumph, a decade after welcoming his youngest daughter, signified not just a personal victory, but a profound moment for many who saw in him the embodiment of the American dream. A son of immigrants ascending to one of the most powerful positions in the world. Just over 2 months later, on January 5, 2011, Senator Marco Rubio began his official duties in Washington. The weight of his new role was palpable, yet he always found time for his family. Here, he navigates the historic halls of the old Senate chamber with his sons, 5-year-old Anthony and 3-year-old Dominic, on their way to a swearing-in ceremony for the 112th Congress. This image captures the delicate balance between the demands of public service and the cherished moments of fatherhood in the nation's capital. As a United States Senator, Marco Rubio swiftly engaged with critical national issues. Having lived the immigrant experience through his parents, border security and immigration reform became central themes in his legislative work.
On November 4, 2011, he visited the El Paso sector of the U.S. and Mexico border, engaging with Border Patrol agents to understand the complex realities on the ground. This hands-on approach to policymaking marked his early tenure in the Senate, underscoring his commitment to issues that resonated deeply with his personal background. Beyond policy and politics, Senator Rubio also shared his personal journey and perspectives with a broader audience. During a book signing event at Books and Books, he greeted supporters, reflecting on his life story and his vision for the country. Authorship allowed him to articulate his conservative principles and the narrative of his family's ascent, further cementing his public profile and connecting with constituents on a more personal level. His rising prominence within the Republican Party made him a sought-after voice, especially during presidential election cycles. On October 27, 2012, Marco Rubio was seen conversing with former Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney while flying from Pensacola to Orlando, Florida. These interactions showcased his growing influence and hinted at his potential as a future national leader, a figure capable of shaping the direction of his party and perhaps the country. By January 28, 2013, Senator Marco Rubio stood at the forefront of a bipartisan effort for comprehensive immigration reform, a pivotal moment in his career. Here he listens alongside a diverse group of powerful senators, including John McCain, Chuck Schumer, Robert Menendez, and Dick Durbin during a press conference at the U.S. Capitol. This gang of 8 sought to tackle one of America's most complex challenges, reflecting Rubio's early willingness to reach across the aisle on an issue deeply personal to him. From a modest Miami home, the son of Cuban immigrants had risen to become a key player on the national stage, perpetually navigating the intricate currents of American politics. His journey continues to embody a significant narrative within the broader American story, one of ambition, adaptation, and the enduring pursuit of public service.